mods and stuff. I just know it works, so...
We are jumping into the first semi-final of today. One of these players will be going to the final and have a chance to win the final spot at DSCL Bootcamp. Soetenga and SmokedU wishing each other good luck and loving each other. Oh, here we go. Good luck and have fun. Dutch esports fighting. Thank you, Wish. You fixed your spelling. Awesome. That is amazing. In the top right corner of the map, playing as the green Protoss, it is SmokedU from Cooler Master. From AT Gaming, sponsored by Cooler Master. Just like us. Awesome.
Yeah. And his opponent, Soetenga from EC Visualize, or ECV Visualize, is spawning in the bottom right.
Oh, you wish. Darn it. Now I'm gonna have to fire you. Darn it. No one shall stick to that awkward aberrant spelling.
Again.
Oh boy.
Even Wikipedia is on my side.
Wikipedia?
What?
Ah, no way, man. That is not an authority.
Frank, I have a feeling your whole foundation name might be wrong.
It's mutiny. Wikipedia is no source of authority, or no, not an authoritative source on spelling.
Oh,
definitely not.
But it should be.
Actually, you know what is authoritative? If there's actually foundations named in a certain way, and check the spelling of their names, right? And you'll see it is esports. We also have the Dutch esport union in the Netherlands. They also like E-sports with a lowercase s.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely the more. I mean, if you write esports like that, you should also write email without a hyphen and with a capital M. That's strange.
Yeah, I think.
We're talking about electronic sports here.
Wish has to have his way now. Look at the openings over here. I have a feeling, I'm not entirely sure, but I have a feeling that SmokedU went for a 10 gate. I was not paying attention, I apologize for that, but the timing of... he definitely went for a 10 gate, because he's missing that other pylon so far, the third pylon, and his cybernetic score finished just so fast.
What is gonna pop down here? Is it gonna be a Stargate?
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh,
looks like... Yeah, it's Twilight Council. So he's going for a DT rush over here, potentially.
Oh, and Soetenga is not scouting with his scouting SCV. It's just standing about. Actually, it has gone into the base and has seen things, but I'm not sure if it... Of course, he, just like you, he could have seen that the gateway was very early, so he may expect something fishy going on. Yeah. Alright, let's see if he prepares adequately. He's scouting around his own main base. Let's see what he throws down here. Something's gonna come up. Also a Twilight Council.
Oh, a Twilight Council.
This is dangerous.
Shrine. Ooh, this is going to be interesting, but
this is dangerous, right? Because Soetenga's Twilight Council is so much later than SmokedU's, and seeing as how he went for Twilight, he won't have detection very soon, so he might be very vulnerable.
He will. Actually, if he does this build correctly, unless he's opening with DTs himself, then he might start Blink and then get a Robo Facility slightly before the 6-minute mark.
But that'll never be on time for the Dark Shrine that is nearly halfway done now, am I right?
No, it will be. It will be. Dark Shrine has a pretty damn long build time. Look, he's getting build. He's getting Blink. He cancelled the second gate that he was building before, and he's going... he's going to add on a second gateway now, and he should be adding a third one if he wants to go, but more so than anything else, he should be adding the Robo Facility.
Yeah, he needs detection.
He needs to start it now, and even then his defense will depend on whether or not he can force field the ramp.
Oh, enemy mothership coming in. One probe goes down.
Enemy mothership will likely be taken out if it's not careful.
Oh yeah. If the Stalker can just move up, not getting bugged by the sentry there. I think one more shot from both of the units.
This is just such an oversight from Soetenga.
Yeah, here we go. SmokedU warps in his warps in? I think warps in.
Yeah,
his first DT.
Warps in a DT, second DT. This is such an oversight from Soetenga. I mean, in a PvP, when you don't have good scouting information on your opponent, which Soetenga does not have, you definitely get a robo.
Oh, here we go. Does he see the glimmer of the DT? Well, actually, now he notices there's a DT. Well, at least the Stalker knows.
Yeah,
but two DTs inside the main. No detection in sight Not even a Stargate for any oracles, no other ways of detecting, no forge for a cannon, so this is going to be a slaughterfest. And
he starts a robo facility at his pylon to the north.
wow.
And now he's going to pretty much play a base raid because he's all out of... Oh my goodness, no! He will not be able to make an observer. He does not have enough minerals to make an observer when that robo finishes.
You're right, 13 for 30 minerals, not enough. He doesn't
he realizes it, goes back with the probes, and he wants to mine another 20 minerals.
Oh, Willie! Oh, the probes are moving through a line of DTs. They're actually focusing the cybernetics core. That is good news for Soetenga. If he gets enough minerals, he may yet get enough. But of course, he is inside the main base. Blink has finished.
Okay, he has enough now. He has enough. He has got 48 minerals. He can go back with the probes and use them to fight. He's going to chrono out an observer, hopefully.
Wait, how much does an observer cost?
25.
Only 25. Sorry, I thought it was 50.
It used to be 50.
Right.
They lowered the cost of the observer back in Wings of Liberty, I think.
Okay.
I'm
so
he's going to get an observer. He's going to try to play a base raid, and hope that his robo with the pylon at the north is discovered after he cleans out the main base of SmokedU, because he'll have to micro against the DTs. He'll have to snipe those, and then it's the Archon that's the big problem.
Yeah, I love the quick thinking from Soetenga, but I think the army from SmokedU is just too big right now.
Well, he's got double time warp on that battleship core, so...
Alright, that's cool. Lots of damage on the Archon so far. The probe's actually soaking up a lot of damage. I think that was definitely a good move, and the Blink now coming into play. This is actually going to be very close, but there's huge warp in from SmokedU there. I think this is going to be it.
Oh, yeah. The problem is that Soetenga cannot reinforce, so all he has are these 3 Stalkers.
GG.
That's going to be a GG.
Yep. Alright, victory for SmokedU in this semi-final. That means he is now up 1 game. This is still a best of 3, so match point for him next game.
Yep. That was an oversight from Soetenga. I cannot name it any other way. You always get detection before the 7-minute mark. Always. And even if you're cutting it close, you gotta have a sentry with a single force field out at the ramp. Because if you're getting detection slightly later, let's say you put down the robo at 6:30, the DTs are coming in at like 6:45, 50 if you really rush them out. So you force field the ramp and you chrono boost that observer out. You have just 1 force field available to you, but you have to watch out for the shimmer of the DTs. Then you force field the ramp, you chrono boost out the observer, and then if the DT gets into your base before that observer is out, you micro around with the units, with the probes, trying to minimize the losses, or SimCity your mineral line, and then cancel the pylons, but you definitely get detection before the 7-minute mark. Soetenga was maybe banking on the fact that his opponent would not open DTs, but it's just too big of a risk.
Alright. Definitely. Thank you, Myth Merc, for following us on Twitter, by the way. And Twitch. Still get more Twitch followers every time we stream. That's awesome. Alright, by the way, I got an update from people from the eSport Union who also say that we were kind of debating internally about whether it should be E-sports or E-S sports, but these people are just crazy, man. Just eSports with a hyphen. Pretty cool. Overgrowth appears to be the next map. Soetenga has picked the next map, which is Overgrowth. He lost the previous game, so he can pick the next map. We got some people in here. Let's suggest some other people as well. Are you in there already? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am. I can go up against Soetenga anytime you want me to. As a Zerg.
Yeah, perhaps you should not be the one playing. Alright. Ah, man. Alright. The date for the event is actually drawing close. It is now the 5th of November. It means it's 2 days before my birthday and also 17 days before DSL Bootcamp. Actually, I've just been rebuilding my house. Some of it actually. And the cool thing is that I actually made a hole in the wall of my room so that I can now put a HDMI video cable from my room where the production will be down to the living room where of course the cables and stuff will be. So we have a cable specifically for bringing down the previews window so that the damn it, I'm trying to look at the chat and talk at the same time. I should not do that. The preview window for the professionals sitting downstairs doing all the casting and the coaching, they can see exactly what we're broadcasting so they can respond to that. And that is what my new fancy cable has made possible. Alright, I'm thinking, Bell, that we should leave this lobby because we're the only ones in it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Probably. A new lobby will be made, most likely.
Alright. Alrighty. Sorry guys, we're just waiting for a lobby to be made. Keep yourself occupied in the chat. Actually, I could run this awesome CM Storm commercial. Gonna do that. This one's gonna be for a keyboard, the Nova Tech. Check it out. Now I can start talking. I had my mic muted. It's unmuted now. I'm going to say what I just said again. It is no longer just Patrick Belnoir and me. Also, Jeroen Wyman has joined us. Wyman, how are you?
Well, a lot worse than I was 15 to 20 minutes ago, but I'm good.
You lost a game. That is of your loss, actually. You won lots of games. You lost one game that was important. How did you like playing against Isnobest?
Pretty interesting, because we both play the same style of TVT, which has been deprecated for over 2 years, but still kind of fun to play. Like, there's no mech, there's just Marines and tanks.
I just wanted to ask that's just nitpicking, but...
Go for it.
I would like to ask, you have a pretty easily noticeable, or easy to notice, because it's weird, gas timings with that build you did on... beard.
I'm gonna get some water, by the way. Be right back.
Yeah. With that build you did on Overgrowth, and then in the last game as well, where you were mining with only 4 SCVs. I thought that was to get a quicker engineering bay, but then you foregone the +1 attack upgrade in favor of factory, and it suddenly did not make any sense. So I was kind of confused. What was the story behind that?
The story is explained in a Day 9 Daily, which explains Torzane's TVT build from Wings of Liberty, which gives you a pretty sick economy, while doing a timing which involves both medevac's +1 attack and medevac with, of course, stim and combat shield at about 10 minutes, and tries to give you a benchmark at 10 minutes where you have about 50 SCVs and all of those. So that's kind of how it works, and it's pretty weak to aggressive openers.
Which I gathered as much.
Which is why I shouldn't be doing it, but I still haven't really found a way to transition comfortably.
What do you do when somebody opens, like, I don't know, Reaper against you and finds out what you're doing, or if just somebody goes with, I don't know, a 1-1-1 opener? Like,
1-1-1 is pretty hard to hold off depending on which version they're doing. Like, if they do the early Viking Marine tank push, you can actually see it coming with a Watchtower Marine, and then you pull a few SCVs before they reach your actual mineral line, and you will have enough Marines to stop it. But identifying what your opponent is doing is like super critical, otherwise you're in a lot of trouble. But if you get to the 10-minute mark, you're usually in a very good spot, both economy and army-wise. And this is like an old build, but it works on ladder most of the time. But I think I
Well,
should still be trying something different.
yeah, because like I don't know, like for me today, TVT is very like you have a lot of these aggressive openings, pretty much gas first all the time.
Mhm.
A lot of proxy stuff going down as well, especially in overgrowth. That's like if you ever
Yeah.
see Lilican in play. So I don't know, like I think it's like too risky to use.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's
Almost.
good. It's just what kind of works for me.
Yeah, it was just interesting, you know, like the gas timings and the ratio of mineral to gas mining. I was just wondering. So
Yeah.
Right,
cool,
guys,
cool stuff.
I'm gonna stop you there real quick. Just
Yeah.
roll the leader as we're jumping into this next game. So here we go.
Hmm. All right. All right. So spawning.
Okay. All right, now we're jumping into the game. There we go, guys. That was a bit of a mess up. All right, in the top right corner of the map, playing in green, currently up one game. It is AT Gaming, sponsored by Cooler Master. SmokedU. All right, guys. In the bottom left corner of the map, from EC Visualize, one of the many players from ECV in the brackets tonight is Soetenga. We shouldn't say Soetenga, but Soetenga.
All
Why?
right. So Wyman, have you seen the first game?
Yeah, I did. DT is pretty good.
Yeah, especially off of 10 gate. Like you used to do this on Tal'Darim, Ultra, and Wings of Liberty, if you did not want to play 4 gate. So you could hope that you catch your opponent off guard with a 10 gate DT rush.
Oh, wow.
But it was pretty effective. You know, Soetenga definitely will have to be more careful of his build against SmokedU because. You know, SmokedU, he knows that with such an early DT rush, if your opponent forgoes detection, then you pretty much have won.
We actually see both players scouting very diligently now. Both of them scouting out their entire main and the middle line. So neither of them is gonna fall for any cheeses today, it looks like, or this game.
Yeah, this game
And
is
standard games.
this map is pretty much known for proxy 2-gate stalker builds.
Okay.
So no surprise there that they're scouting those most obvious locations. It wouldn't make any sense to proxy the gates elsewhere because then they're too far away. But,
So what do you do if you scout proxy stalkers? You immediately add an extra gateway and start making
well, you
your own
should.
stalker?
It's the safest option if you're in lower leagues. Just add on an extra gateway and try to chrono boost out as many stalkers as possible. You can even skip Mothership Core for a bit because army size is more important than the Mothership Core. You could lose it to the first couple of stalkers if you don't know what you're doing, and you will not have photon overcharge for quite some time with a normal opening. So it's better to get more stalkers, get the Mothership Core later, and as your opponent charges up the ramp, just use probes to force his stalkers to kite away from you. That way you can target fire those down, and eventually you should get the upper hand in the stalker count.
We see a small difference here, by the way. No stalker yet started for SmokedU. Seems like he's building up towards. There we go. A Stargate and his Mothership Core now also finishing. Stargate right away. He still has. Oh wait, I thought he had an enemy probe inside of his base, but no, it retreated. There we go.
I don't know if this will work because Soetenga is getting a second gateway and a Stargate of his own, so he's pretty much playing the safe variation of this build, and he can extend. If he can get a lead on the Harvester kill count, he can extend this lead into an expansion. And he's also getting a robo facility, so pretty much he's going to be playing a macro game. I feel like, and he's going to be playing macro. I think he definitely wants that expansion, and he should have enough stalkers by the time that Oracle comes around.
Oh, it's gonna be a Phoenix actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, are they going to go Oracle or are they going to go Phoenix? Usually when you open quick Stargate, you get an Oracle to do damage.
Yeah.
And he's adding on gateways as well, which would imply some sort of attack. This is combined with the... Yeah, okay, so he's getting a Phoenix as well, which is quite logical if you see he's going robo, playing defensive, wants to play macro. Yeah, he's getting a bit of everything, which usually, I mean, Soetenga is usually doing that, but it's usually not that good.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of depends. Like this game can still go either way.
I mean, maybe he wanted to get Phoenixes and not get an Oracle, so he got the Robo just for detection.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to do some play-by-play casting. These Phoenixes are just gonna pass each other by, and nothing happened.
Wow, that's shocking.
Cool.
Okay, so
second Phoenix though, they do fly into each other.
Oh, he's gonna camp the Stargate. That's actually kind of neat.
Whoa.
A Phoenix for a Phoenix, that was very narrow, but all in all, we still have 2 Phoenixes versus 2 Phoenixes. It's going to be very even on the Phoenix production.
No, but there's gonna be one less Phoenix for SmokedU there, because these 2 Phoenixes have ganged up, and they can also gang up. Oh no, wait, retreating.
Good. Like this is the thing. If you go Phoenix versus Phoenix build, and you know your opponent is going Phoenixes, the second you find out he's going Phoenixes, you have to pull back. You cannot continue to rally across the map, and you should play defensively from that point on, because for a long time the game will hinge on the Phoenix counts. And if you engage badly with Phoenix against Phoenix and you end up losing the air battle, that's pretty much the point where you could lose the game.
Right, this is similar to Muta versus Muta in that it's very hard to really micro
this is a big committal, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty risky, and he's probably going to lose at least 1 Phoenix here.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I just want to point out that SmokedU is still on 16 probes in his mineral line. He's not adding on the Nexus. As long as Soetenga just keeps this... Okay, losing the air battle here is actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, this... okay, so he loses 1 Phoenix in return, but still...
He bring those other 2, yeah.
Okay, but there's... Okay, now it's 3 against 2 again, so this is... it's turning around.
He should have retreated the moment he sniped that second Phoenix, because this is just completely unnecessary. And he will end up losing this one. Maybe he will trade with the other one. No, he will not. And now Soetenga is 4 Phoenixes ahead, but those are fresh ones. Those are not the ones from the early portions of the game, so they don't have as much energy. And he's going to try to pin his opponent down in his base. Had he not the Phoenix count advantage right now, then since he already expanded behind this, he's getting a Forge, he's getting a Twilight, etc, 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 he might be open for a counter attack. But like this, SmokedU is playing completely blind. He doesn't have any presence out on the map. He doesn't have an observer, nothing of the sort. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing. He's going to be scared out of his wits, and he's going to just camp his base, which is exactly what Soetenga wants.
He's so far behind on the probe count.
Hallucinated Phoenix. You're right, that's actually very significant. So the amount of Phoenixes could only... Oh, some probes even get lifted now, so that is... it's gonna cost him 1 or maybe even 2 Phoenixes.
Ooh, even loses a Phoenix.
Yeah, a little bit of a miss micro, but he did kill 5 probes.
Yeah, but
and
look
overall,
at still.
He's killed 7 Phoenix, guys.
Yeah, and still 19 probes now to 40 mining from 2 expansions, whereas the 19s are now only mining from 1. The income difference must be huge. Yeah, look at this, 600 to 1,000, and especially in terms of gas, it's double that for Soetenga.
This is going to be pretty straightforward. Look at this, getting Soetenga getting +1 attack, getting charge.
Oh, what's this 1 Phoenix doing?
Yeah, attack difference is huge as well. Like he's getting immortals, he's getting charged, he's getting +1 attack.
Yeah, he's going to be taking a 3rd base after this. But
who's ahead? Like score?
SmokedU.
Okay. So he realized that he's actually too far ahead right now. So instead of taking the 3rd base, he's adding on yet more gateways, and he's going to go for a quicker attack.
And some kind of a hidden Templar archive there.
Yeah, it's a chart on Archon timing.
Ah, okay.
With lots of gates, lots of Archons.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the economy to back it up, so...
Yeah.
Actually, supply is equal. Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's strange. So that means that the army for SmokedU is a lot... Wait, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger because he's been building units the entire time.
Right. Oh, yeah, okay.
He expanded slower, but that advantage will not last long, because once those gates kick in, Soetenga will be on 10 gates, and he'll just start mass warping.
But he needs to start making units off of them if SmokedU would choose to move out now, because like we said, his army currently is a lot bigger than that of Soetenga.
Yeah, it's going to...
Right.
You can just warp in and It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
That gap is going to close pretty quickly. Like, just watch 38 to
Oh, but-
24.
Okay.
Another warp in, and he's equalized, and then he can just continue to warp in more units.
But we might see like a loop because SmokedU is going for Soetenga's base and Soetenga's all the way up and he's warping in units at the top of the map. So this might be a bit of a dicey situation.
And the Mothership Core is back home.
Yeah.
And he's going to
Gets
lose it
sniped
as
in
well
on-
to the Phoenixes.
Oh, he
Yeah.
gets both photon overcharges.
Okay.
It's actually pretty impressive.
That is very nice because the Phoenixes won't be able to harass the mineral lines there for a while. But there's kind of a massive army still approaching. The army sizes have now completely equaled out. You guys are completely right. But there's one army moving into one natural. I think we're going to see another army move into another natural. Oh, and an immediate recall!
Oh, that's going to be GG. Those units can't fight when they recalled just now. That should have been, well, 1-1. But in the very least, that should have been a recall if he
To the main.
went for the recall to the main, exactly.
Right.
But I think he would have been better off to just try to play base trade at that point, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
He was just too far behind.
Alright. Alright, cool. I just put both your names on the screen there. And can't I make an ampersand? No, apparently I can't.
EG announced their lineup for Heroes of the Storm.
Alright.
I have no idea who these people are.
Right.
Except Idra, right?
Yeah. Actually, he's only mentioning 4. I'm just confused.
Right. How about you explain what Heroes of the Storm is to the people in the chat?
It's like League of Legends, but done by Blizzard, so it's actually good. And it has a lot of a bigger team aspect, and not so much focused on individual performance, because things like XP and gold are shared, I believe, amongst 5 heroes. You know, it's a MOBA, so you have to play with one hero. So if you like Protoss, I guess it's a pretty good game to play. And yeah, I haven't tried it. I do have access, but.
Alright, sorry guys, I have the coolest thing ever. Right, so our head admin Livian,
I know.
he tweeted at Onze Taal, so a famous institution basically in the Netherlands. It's a genootschap, so they deal with issues of our national language. And he tweeted at them, how do you write like the conjugation of, or the contraction of electronic sports? Should it be esports with a capital S or E-sports with no capital S? And they responded saying, it should be esports the way I prefer it. So E-sports with no capital S. So super awesome.
Wow. Congratulations to Frank for
Yes.
knowing his grammar.
Yes! Moral victory there. Take that, Wish. Oh, cool. Alright. And thank you, Prozix Live, for following us on Twitch. Pretty cool. People still keep streaming in. Oh man, I'm so excited about this tweet. I instantly retweeted it, kind of forgetting that I usually only tweet in English. Actually, always only tweet in English, but you know, people have to forgive us. This is such an awesome, I would say,
Good
moment
news,
in our timeline. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Good news.
Nice. All right, got an invite actually for the final game of this series.
Cool. Catalina is going to be the map.
Yep. So SmokedU picked this. Of course, that's his advantage. He lost the previous game. That is what you get if you win the first one. Pretty cool. All right.
Oh, so it's LZ Gamers, their 5th player for EG Heroes of the Storm.
LZ Gamer?
Yeah.
No. Looks like all the players that failed at Starcraft are now going to be on a pro team playing Heroes of the Storm. Congratulations! Clap, clap, clap. Hashtag kappa, kappa, kappa. No, like seriously, LZ Gamer, Idra, like who else is on there? Machine? I wouldn't be surprised, to be quite honest.
No, it's not on there. It's 3 guys I've never heard of. Like literally. I guess they're just guys that Idra like playing with, so he's pulling them.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just. How would you translate glunderen to English?
To Marvel? No.
No, that's more like.
Oh, basking. Sorry.
I'm basking. Well, that's also not. I'm not sure.
No.
Right. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. So look it up. And I love that we got a tweet from Onze Taal. Pretty cool.
Oh, you're shining. Yeah, that's also a decent one. You're euphoric.
Alright, SmokedU is back. Soetenga also. Both players saying have fun, good luck. This is going to be the deciding match between these two players. Nice. Alright. Oh, and quick news, in the other semi-final, by the way, is No Best versus Net Forces. Net Forces beat Hendronimus. So it's Net Forces versus Is No Best in the other semi-final. The winner of that will face the winner of this game. So they can look forward to that. And of course, Wyman, you're hoping that it's going to be Is No Best, because then once again you'll be able to say that you got knocked out by analysts.
Yeah.
I also want Is No Best to win, because yay Terrans.
Yay Terrans. We're jumping into the game right now. I forgot to set the score. I'm going to fix that real soon. It is currently 1-1, and in the 1 o'clock position up here it is SmokedU playing Protoss as usual. Wish sulking over the esports writing. Pretty cool. Alright.
And his opponent from EC Visualize, Soetenga, the pink Protoss player. I'd say, Soetenga, when he can get to his standard, like a macro game that he's playing, that he's played before in the first PvP we casted today, I'd say he has a big advantage over his opponents, because you can kind of just like see how well he has his mid and late game practiced. It's the early game where he sometimes makes mistakes, if the failed DT defense is anything to go by.
Yeah, it was pretty much a build order loss in game 1, I felt. And so game 2 was a lot more where he just macroed a lot better, and SmokedU was just scared in his face.
Yeah, he wasn't sure how to respond, and he made a lot of micro mistakes there. But then again, it's not often that you play Phoenix versus Phoenix, because most people don't do it, because it's so wonky to play, and you have to really know the game, and you have to really know what to do when. Otherwise, you could lose to any number of things.
Yeah,
So,
opening Phoenix with PvP is pretty rough.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way, Frank, you don't have to respond to this because you're the organizer. But you mentioned, like, if Is No Best wins the qualifier, that means you're gonna have a Terran at the coaching event. But both of our coaches are Zerg and Protoss, so I don't think he'll be able to learn that much in DVT.
Oh, I would disagree. I think that both Yona and Grubby are very capable of teaching Is No Best a lot about his play, even if he plays Terran. I mean, these players, remember, they're a diamond, or in your case, you just promoted to Masters League, but high diamond, low master. I think that the gap in skill is such that any player, be they Terran, Zerg, or Protoss, can learn a lot from Grubby and or Yona. And I think that they too have lots of experience in training against Terrans, or thinking about what Terrans can do better. So I really don't see a problem there if there's no Terran coach for these players.
I don't think it'll be a problem, but there's just a couple of certain intricacies in TVT which are really tough to grasp if you don't play the matchup. But
we'll see. Are they necessary to understand for a below master player? I don't think so.
I think the dynamics of opening gas first versus 13 gas versus 15 gas are actually very specific. Like, I know them as a caster, but as a player I still don't feel comfortable opening that way. So even I wouldn't be really able to tell everything.
I'm pretty confident in Grubby's ability to coach a Terran player. I mean, there's still a lot of things you can work on below Masters without getting into too much detail in specific matchups. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. You know, even in Grand Master League, when I watch streams sometimes, most of the times people lose games is because of bad decisions, not because of bad builds. Because, you know, it's not like those little tiny things, I don't think they really come into play in, you know, non-professional scene. Anyways, let's go back to this game, shall we?
Yep, we see Twilight Council going down for SmokedU, and the choice of tech for Soetenga here is the Robo Facility.
Yeah, this time he did get the Robo right on time. Actually
Dark
right
Shrine.
on time.
Dark Shrine for SmokedU.
It's I think it's the exact same build he did before.
Except without the proxy.
Without the proxy, yeah. He's building it inside his base, which is a little bit... Well, then again, I guess on this map you wouldn't scout with a Mothership Core, because there's so much... it would take too long to get there, all the way around the map, and if you want to move across the map, it's too dangerous because there's not a single place you can hide the core at against the stalkers. So pretty safe option.
This time, though, Soetenga definitely has access to detection. He's got his robotics facility already set up. He's not working on an observer right now, but you know, chrono boosting that out will take just a matter of seconds. So I don't think this is going to be game over, just like it was in game number 1.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be getting an observer after he gets that immortal, and he'll get an expansion as well, I think. Yeah, there's the observer out of the robo facility. Perfectly timed, and it's going to be out by the 7-minute mark, which is when the DTs should start coming into your base.
This is always an interesting decision you need to make as a pro DOS. Where do you position your units to defend? Do you put them in the mineral line against possible oracles, or do you put them at the ramp, for DTs? Because he really doesn't know. He's now finally sending an hallucinated Phoenix to scout.
Yeah. Well, if he fears DTs, he doesn't actually need to be at the ramp. If he fears Blink Stalkers, that's a different story, but if he's afraid of DTs, he doesn't need to actually be at the ramp. All he needs is an observer, but yeah, you're absolutely right in other cases, because...
Oh, wait a sec, the DT walks up the ramp, but gets deterred.
Oh! Misses that.
DT walks into a bar.
Yeah, but you're right about positioning the units, because be it versus a ground attack or an oracle, you pretty much have to have your units in place as the units arrive attacking you, because by the time you get there from the middle of your base, you already will lose too much.
This is cool, guys. SmokedU is going to try and make these DTs work for him. He's figuring out that the detection for Soetenga will be at the front of his base, and he's going to drop a DT with a warp prism in the back of Soetenga's
Very
base.
Nice.
There is a cannon going down in the mineral line, though, so his timing window is closing fast.
And he does have a secondary DT, so he can hit the natural as he's leaving with the warp prism from the main base.
Oh, he dropped DT on the wrong side.
That wall. Now he has to go around. He needs to surround. Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh, there's.
He needs to get out of there.
Run away.
DT in the natural. Getting kills.
Nice. All right. Cool move. Great way trying to make these DTs work after all. This DT will get killed. Yes, this force field is not... I was going to say fucking around, but I shouldn't say that.
He did kill 5 probes with that DT, so that's something. And the probe count is a lot closer than it was in the previous games. It's just that he could have done more a little bit with this. And now Soetenga, he still only has 1 DT, so... I don't know, maybe he could continue this drop play and just warp in 3 Zealots, drop it from the warp prism, take out the cannon once the photon overcharge is gone, and then drop the DT.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to El Condor in the chat and Ngenya there. El Condor singing Only Ngenya, doing the cool Weevil and Bob reference. Pretty awesome, guys. If you're watching this on the VODs, do check out our live broadcast. Of course, lots of fun in the chat. Lots of regulars there, and you can join up with them, talk a little bit of Dutch apparently. Always good times.
Both players have built a forge, upgrading +1, and they actually SmokedU hasn't started +1 yet, but he should be because he knows his opponent is. This is really turning into a macro game, but he's still trying to sort of do things with this warp prism. Okay, there's +1 and Temple Archives. That's an interesting choice. Looks like a 2-base all-in from SmokedU, whereas the Pink Protoss here is actually going to go for a Colossus composition. Soetenga does have a lot of Immortals though, those can do a lot of work.
Yeah, and with Charged Archon, I don't know on this map. I mean, the composition Soetenga is going for will allow him to hold on to multiple bases with ease as long as he knows where the army of his opponent is. Because if you take a look around the 3rd base, there are pretty much 2 chokes leading up to that base. You can even make them narrower by building buildings there. The only exposed base pretty much is the center one. So, I mean, Soetenga can just go for 3 bases and he'll be untouchable. You can't just attack into that with Charged Archon. You have to find some way to pull your opponent out of position with drops or with, flanks and stuff. And I don't think Soetenga will be as foolhardy as to rush into a situation, out of his defensive posture near the base. He will not be moving out on the map.
He's actually chronoing, boosting out Storm, and, well, of course, Charge, but I'm not sure what the...
Is he trying to go for Storm drops? He does have 2 High Templars in the Warp Prism.
Oh, he does. Then he's gonna go for Storm drops for sure.
Yeah, Storm not finishes up though for another 30 in-game seconds, so he's gonna have to wait a while.
Guys, this is ballsy and cool at the same time because Storm drops very rarely work in PvP. Very rarely.
Yeah, there's also a few juicy sentries in the Mothership Core you get feedback for an insta-kill.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna go for the probe.
Oh, but there's... Okay. Wow!
Oh, alright.
Controlling, and he's
Will he get out?
He actually gets 10 probes with that. That's
Nice.
not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. Very nice storm drop. Wow.
Okay, so Soetenga just scouted the army of SmokedU with an hallucinated phoenix, and you should see that there's quite a few zealots in there. And usually you don't make zealots in PvP unless you're going to go for an Archarged Archon composition. In this case, along with a few immortals. Okay, so he's morphing Archons at his War Prism, which is quite good. Both players will have +2 attack at roughly the same time. So, my votes so far are on Soetenga, as long as he gets enough of a meat shield, of a body, to protect his Colossi.
Yeah, he's going to have an advantage. Because he'll have the range that SmokedU will be lacking in the fight. But, it will depend on the engagement. If SmokedU can set up a flank or a semi-surround,
Oh boy.
and close the distance quicker, then those Colossi are not going to be having much luck. They're great if they can fire at one concentrated spot on the map, but if they have to fire all the way around, then they're not doing as much damage as one might think.
The key here is the War Prism. The War Prism is what will allow SmokedU to set up a good flank by dropping zealots behind the Colossus. And then warping in a whole bunch of more zealots, which is just such a powerful move.
Ooh, but the War Prism is very low on health and nearly flew in a couple of cannons there. So, another storm incoming.
Ooh!
Oh, gets another couple of SCVs. These storms do a lot of damage, dude.
Yeah, they did.
I'm not sure what he's trying to accomplish. Like, he wants to kill his opponent within now and 2 more minutes, I suppose. Focusing on probe seems a bit silly, even though Soetenga is spending money on making probes again. Oh,
but Soetenga is, he's down on army supply as well as economy. Surprisingly, he is on 1 more base than his opponent, and he's behind on both on the army pretty much. He did remake those harvesters quickly enough, though, with those 3 nexuses. That's true.
Oh, look at this one Archon not being in there. Oh, what? I'm just gonna stand there and shout. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh no, now he can get into a good position on the high ground though, and this is going to be tricky to engage into by Soetenga.
Terrible position for Soetenga, lots of storms on him and he's just clumped up on the ramp there. Colossi still shooting though.
The immortal numbers are going to decide this game.
Why you not storm? Oh, that's
look at this though!
Wow.
Alright, couple of Zealots left, they will be easy pickings for these Colossi. Oh, Zealots, so they might charge these unguarded Colossi, but they can run off the ramp and give these Zealots a run for their money. I think it's going to be... This is looking very good for Soetenga.
Yeah, it is. I almost thought he was going to lose that battle, but SmokedU just did not manage it very well, to be quite honest.
No. He had Zealots going into the middle, like 20 of them, and he still has that Warp Prism, which wasn't doing anything. Like, at one point, those Colossus were very far forward. You could have warped in a whole bunch of Zealots and just gone for it, but never did.
Exactly.
And now Soetenga is gearing up for a counterattack.
Here comes the march of the Colossi with some Immortals there, lots of Zealots as well. Army count currently 70 to 31 in favor of Soetenga here, so gonna be tough defense here for SmokedU.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an impossible defense. His army supply is down to 27. His immortal count, which if you're going for Charge Lord Archon, the immortal count versus Colossi is your most important number.
Yeah.
If you're low on immortals, you cannot engage versus Colossi. And there's a GG well played.
GG well played. Congratulations, Soetenga, from ECV for moving on to the finals. And I've just heard that he will be facing Isnobest in the finals. And congratulations also to SmokedU for making it so far into today's qualifier. Unfortunately, there will not be another chance to participate as this was the last qualifier. The winner of today will be the 6th player to be coming to DSCL Bootcamp.